Can I get you to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, my name is Norah Button, and I'm just a dance teacher really, but I'm not. I've got a school of performing arts.
And what's the name of the school?
Liverpool Theatre School, obviously. Liverpool, because I was born and bred here.
And you also went to Ainsdale at one stage as well, didn't you?
No, my mother, we were born in Liverpool 8, and we were sent to Croxteth, and my dad was killed, so when I was 15, so there was only myself and my brother who was 9, and my mother and my gran were both ill, so there was only me to do a job or something, and I was learning dancing then, and I started dancing when I was 3. I had my first professional engagement. You won't know this man, Joseph Locke. He had a most marvellous voice. He was the Mr. X that never paid his taxes. And him and my grandmother were good singers. And they brought me into their little act. And my first professional, when I was 3, was I just stood there waiting for them, and they always did an Irish song at the end. And I had to come on and sing, and they called it Ireland. That was me, and I got paid for that.
And you went on to become Miss Liverpool, was it?
No, I went on to train, because I was always learning dancing, but I wanted to train full time. So I got a teacher. Well, I was already there, and my mum used to pay £5 a week for me to go full time. And then, of course, when Dad was killed, he was killed in the mines. We didn't have any money, never loaned £5. So I asked the dance teacher, would she take me? And she said, well, I'll take you for £1 a week, and then if you help me with classes, because I was 15 then. So I said, oh yes, that'll be smashing. And that was the arrangement, and I managed to train in the day, and I got, I think it was 3 jobs. I know one was a craft factory, and I had to be there 4:30, I think, and I finished it about 7:30 or 8 o'clock, and it was in Kirby. And from there I walked, because I only had 8 pence for the bus fare, and that was only one way. So I used to walk there, but you know, it wasn't sort of the straight road. You took all little nooks and crannies to get there. And then I got to Islington in the centre of Liverpool in time for a cup of tea from the cleaner there, because she used to be cleaning when I got there. And then I had all my lessons and everything, and then I came home and I kept my 8 pence to get the tram home. So I got the tram home, and then I went to our parish was St Swithin's, and he said that he couldn't employ me because I was only 15, but I could wash all the glasses and clear the tables. So that's what I did, and that was the job, and that's how we survived till I could sell all the things that I'd learnt and take private lessons in our corporation house.
So how did you become a model?
How did I become a model?
Yeah.
Well, anything that was money, I had to do. And I became a model not because I thought I had model looks, I didn't. But you got some jobs that maybe I could do. So then I saw I think I was a bit older then, but things were getting a bit harder because we'd been shipped out to Croxteth, and you all know about Croxteth. And my mum and I were talking one day, and she said, oh, I'd love to live on the sand dunes in Ainsdale. So I said, Mum, you will. And I thought, oh God, what have I said? But I did manage to, much later, when I was about 26, 27. But this was when I was before 21, because we didn't grow up so soon as they grow up now. I mean, we were still proper teenagers, which they're not now, are they? But anyway, I saw this advert for Miss Liverpool, and it said £100 was the prize, and that was in, 60s, the beginning of the 60s. So £100. I thought, oh, that's great. I could pay the studio because I wanted to get this little studio. So I went in, I made myself a dress that night, because I always had bits of material. And then I went in for the next day, and then I won that heat. Then I won, I think it was a semi-heat or something, till I got to the final of Miss Liverpool. And I thought, oh God, please just let me win the £100. I couldn't care less about the cup. I just wanted the £100. Anyway, I did. And from there, somebody said to me, do you model? And I said, oh yes, I didn't. I said, oh yes. So they said, well, could you model these dresses for us? I said, oh yes. I said, how much is the pay? Anyway, it was really good. And that's how I got into modelling. But I was too small. I didn't have a figure. I had a dancer's figure. So, it wasn't something that I liked really, but I did it. And from there, if you were Miss Liverpool, you could go to Miss Ireland or Miss England or Miss whatever it was. You had to choose. So I thought, God, I can't go to those big comps. Like, I only had a homemade dress on, and I had shoes that the man underneath my studio that I was going to rent, he did a lot of old shoes and that, and he gave me 2 shoes that were white. And I said, oh, thank you, Mr. Duncan, because the shoes were expensive. So I cleaned them all up. And when I got to another heat of something, I don't know. Oh, I think it was Miss Ireland, I'm not sure. Anyway, I put the shoes on, and I had to keep them on all the time, and there were 2 left feet. He'd given me 2 left, by accident, but he'd given me 2 left feet, and I'm supposed to be a model walking around. But these things were good, and people were very kind. And anyway, I saved, and I went to Ainsdale, and I saw all this land by the sand dunes being sold. So I thought, oh right, I'll see how much it was. I mean, I must have had a brain lapse, I think. Anyway, I found one of the builders who was there, and I said, how much would it cost, for one of, because everybody had to have a different house, you see. So I said, how much will it cost? So he said, how much, I said, no, I was thinking in Spain they do a third. If you lay the foundation, that's a third, and you pay. Then you go to the next third, and you pay the builder, and then the third. And he said, but that's in Spain, not here. I said, I know, but I want to do it like that. Anyway, he said, why? I said, because I haven't got the money to pay you. Anyway, he said, yes, seeing as you've been truthful with me, we'll do third, and then I could work more, take more lessons, and then of course I was performing myself on the stage as well as doing all lessons and that. So I was saving all the money, and it was about 6 years later, I got my mum in the car. Oh no, I had a scooter then. I got her on the scooter, and we went up, and I stopped by the house. It was still a bit iffy, it wasn't finished. So I said, Mum, do you like that? Oh, she said, isn't it lovely round here? And I said, yes, isn't it? I said, do you like that house? So she said, well, I don't know, I can't really see it. I said, the gate's open, shall we go in and have a look? So we went in, and we looked through the window, and Mum said, oh, it's lovely, isn't it? I said, Mum, it's yours. Oh, it was worth all the things that she'd done for me. They'd all broken their backs to make sure I was trained and everything. But it was a wonderful, when I said it's yours. And she died of cancer about 6 years later, but she got into that house, and I'd had a little boy then, and she was bringing up Nicholas, and he happened to be very smart. So she used to I had to send him to private school because you couldn't, say state school would put him into the class that he should be in for his age, but he could spell disobedience. And when I looked at the class, it said cat, K-A-T, you know, around the classroom. I thought, oh, he's going to be a vandal. Anyway, so I paid for this little school in the village, and my mum used to take him down there. Of course, he was top of the class and that. So my mother's used to be all... She had the most wonderful 6 years of her life, but she then got cancer, breast cancer, and it took her, horrible. It took her about 18 months to die of cancer. The best mother I could ever have. My dad was killed, so I had the best mother and the best grandmother. And now, because I was taken for nothing really for dance lessons, the less endowed schools, and I go around just for about 6 weeks, free, and I do some drama and dance lessons, because I thought those children are like me when I was little anyway. And if they were really good and they wanted to do anything, because, you know, by then you'd seen there was about 2 or 3 you thought would be okay. I used to say, well, you can come to me on a Saturday. 2 of those were, 3 were boys, and 2 of them stayed with me. And one is now starring in Las Vegas in Tenors of Rock. And he had a very good voice, which they get training and everything for at my school. And Tommy Sherlock, and he starred in, the hotel was beginning with M, one of the big hotels. They have these wonderful shows, nothing like, you know, I could afford, but they have these wonderful shows anyway. He rang me up and he said, are you coming to the opening? So I said, it's a bit far, you know, Tommy. So he said, and I thought, I don't know how much, I was okay then for a bit of money. So anyway, I went, and I was blown away with the shows and the hotels and that. And Tommy got me a seat near the front of the audience, near the front by the stage. Anyway, he was last on, and he leaped. He was a good dancer and everything, and he leaped from one shelf to another shelf to on the stage, you know, because he could leap. And he was the last on, and of course everybody knew he was the star then. And I thought he was really good, and I don't say they're good if they're not. Anyway, he just started his second solo, and I was just listening. And the next minute he came off the stage and started going around the audience, and I thought, oh, well, you know, he's a tenor. He needs his rest before they bounce back. Anyway, he just put his arm around me when he came to my seat and said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And that was the first time all these tears were gathering in my eyes, because it was worthwhile me doing what my dance teacher had done, give lessons free really to some of the really good boys and girls that were around. And I still do it, and I've got they're called scholarship children now. And I've got about 21 in the school now. They're scholarship children, nobody knows. So, and I've got 5 in the West End. Kim went into the West End and was the star of chess. That they all made good, but those that made the best good were the free children, because they wanted it, like I wanted it. They wanted it. So that's the school. I never turn anybody away who's got talent, even if they've got no money, because I didn't have money. You have to do something to make money.
So what are you going to be doing tonight? You're judging, aren't you?
Oh yes, I'm not in the thing. I'm 85 years of age.
So what are you looking out for?
Well, I think I'll be looking out for poise and personality to start with. Then we'll have a look at the figure and everything. But if they haven't... I used to win only because they used to ask lots of questions afterwards, And most of the girls that I was with in competitions then they did it as a living. So, and they always put themselves down as they wanted to be a brain surgeon or something like this. And I think I was about the only one in the comps that had a real job and was dancing. So if we had an interview, I knew I was going up then, because when they were asked, what do you want to be, they'd say, I want to be a brain surgeon. So you looked at them and you thought, you're never going to be a brain surgeon. So when they found a real person who had a job, they just used to ask me questions and that. And Ken Dodd happened to be one of the judges, 1961. And afterwards he came and asked to speak to me. So he said that he had this idea. He had little puppets on the television called the Diddy Men. And he said to me, I want them to become children. He said, you're a dancer, aren't you? I said, yes. He said, well, could you do it? So I said, are you offering me a job, Ken? So he said, yes. He said, if you want it. He said, I've watched you. He said, you've got the personality I want, he said. So I said, we've got to train children to do the little Diddy Men. He said, yes. And I still run the Diddy Men now, even though he's dead. Because, I was the instigator. No, I wasn't. He was the instigator. I was the person that brought the kids from being little tin things to children. And I was with Ken Dodd till he died, obviously, from 1961. So.
Thank you, and thank you for your time. It was great talking to you.